Well, hello again. Today's going to be a bit more, I don't know what's the word, angry, crude. This has something to do with a video I saw about Matt Walsh. I don't know how old the video is. It might be very old. I don't know. But I saw it just yesterday or today. And it's him before Congress. And before I kind of delve too much into that, what struck me as soon as I saw it, when I saw these congressmen sitting there, all in their nice little pretty suits and dressed up, it's just, I mean, am I the only one, really? Am I the only one who's feeling like his daily frustration and daily anxiety about just getting by, just surviving? And yet here it is, I'm looking at this video with this special needs group that has way too much unearned confidence. This group that we call Congress is just sitting there, smug and superior, faking any and all concern, right? Faking any and all, I feel your pain kind of thing. This whole faking, like as if sometimes you hear them talk like they're faking, like they have this heart. Man, we're working hard, man. We're really concerned about the country and it's such a huge responsibility, as if they have any real concerns or anxieties. I mean, and here's the thing too, as they're sitting there with this unearned confidence, everyone's just pretending that they're intelligent, that they're super important, right? We're just going to pretend like these people deserve the respect they're being given. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at how these idiots have it so good. And yet every day I'm sitting here stressing out over, financially there is literally more going out than coming in. And even if I do have some money to spend, I can't because, well, I need to prepare for the next disaster, usually thanks to these idiot leaders of ours, or I got to get more gas to go anywhere, or the gas just went up, right? I got to send more money to a rising credit card, only to then have to charge my basic needs again, so I'm putting it back on there. Or I got an insurance company wanting to not do their job and insure. I mean, they could just on a whim decide, nope, no, we're not going to do our job today, and now we're going to go ahead and screw you again. So when I see this, when I see Congress, it just shows to me how the bad guys win, and all with the vote of the people. God bless liberty, right? Thank God we all have a say. Man, we're really kept keeping these corrupt individuals in check, aren't we? Ooh, thank God we don't have some kind of monarchy, right? That would be horrible if we had a dictator, right? I'd much rather my hundreds of congressmen dictators over one. And oh, yeah, man, thank God I had a say when I pushed a little button to vote for my next corrupt dictator. It's just hard to be proud of America sometimes. Just had the 4th of July, I've been thinking about all these wonderful little things about America. And I was sitting there trying to think, man, there's a lot of good things about being an American, right? We saw how the Europeans came here and they were so, at least the ones I saw in these videos, were so happy to be here with their large portions. But this American system, this system that tells the average guy, you must follow the rules now and pay your bills on time. Meanwhile, these politicians and companies owe the average guy nothing. They can rip you off or pay you later or even deny payment. And what? They just get away with it, basically. Try telling the government that they owe you money. Try telling them they owe you money, and you have until let's see, I'll give the government until April 15th to pay me. What's going to happen? Nothing. They're not paying you anything. They'll pay you when they want to pay you. They'll get to you. They get around to you. Need disability like my wife does? Guess what? Maybe, maybe not. We'll run through our checklist and deny you again. Nope. And these same asshats, they have these let's look busy days, right? Just to listen to themselves talk and bang on a little bitty gavel, right? A little hammer there. Oh, you get a chance to talk. Oh, you get a chance to talk. I yield my time. I yield my time. It's. I might as well just have the same thing in my own little living room. That's how serious this is, and most of us take them way too serious. And the funny thing is, they do all of this, and they get to be protected, and we're not. And then they tell us, now say thank you for the liberty to pay us every month while you drown. Say thank you. Be grateful. Even those on the right, so-called right wing. We have so much to be grateful for. Yeah, you know what? I'm sure we do. There are things to be grateful for. Even Russians and Chinese and Japanese and all the nations of the world, you know what? You have reasons to be grateful. You do. That's part of our Catholic upbringing. Catholic teaching is that you find things to be grateful for to get you through life, and stop being not be totally negative all the time. Okay, but I'm just sick of it right now. The double standards, the the election cycles where we got these guys dressed up running their little election ads. All I need is $5 to change Texas over. All I need is I'm gonna run them out. I'm gonna change everything. It never happens, and it never will. Anyway, as I was starting to say, I was scrolling and I saw this video with Matt Walsh being questioned by Congress about child mutilation, aka trans crazy people wanting to butcher their kids, okay, and other people's kids on top of that. They're nuts. But we all pretend like they're normal and they're a minority group that needs to be treated with understanding and tolerance. No, they don't. No, they need to be put in a clink and dealt with, just like the homosexuals. It's a disorder. It's a mental disorder. I'm tired of pretending it's not. You'll need therapeutic, Catholic therapeutic help, because the therapy that's been modernized in the world, right, is just one more arm of the satanic masons, which just encourage immorality and disorder in society in order to make y'all all more controllable. I know, big conspiracy. No, it's just how things are done. You want to control the masses? This is how you do it. Anyway, they're questioning. So one of these, I don't know what to call it, politician, these so-called air quote leaders, who, by the way, simply danced and played to the people to get enough clicks to be sitting where they are, decides to question Mr. Walsh's background and expertise on this issue. What he's basically getting at is, why should we listen to you? You're just a podcaster or whatever Matt Walsh would consider himself, right? And as I'm listening to this guy in his little tone of voice begin to ask this, I'm sitting here thinking, am I the only one who can't take this serious? I mean, look at this smug little dude. Like, this guy makes me feel dignified. Makes me feel like I'm a really important person just to look at the stupidity of this person. I mean, here is a bunch of lowlifes in a suit with a tiny hammer having a meeting where they control whether you get to speak. And when you are actually allowed to speak, you can't ask a question for yourself. No, they're the only ones who get to ask questions. And in the process, try to demean you. They're very demeaning in their tone of voice and what they're asking. And there's no consequences. While at the same time, all the congressmen and the onlookers keep pretending these air quote leaders, more intelligent and better qualified to be where they are than Mr. Walsh or anyone else. I mean, if I was sitting there as Mr. Walsh there, I understand you're sitting for Congress. You are going to be more nervous, right? You're kind of ranging what you're going to say and deciding how you're going to say it. I understand that. But my knee-jerk reaction is to look at those people and go, before I answer my qualifications, what are your qualifications for being in the seat that you're in? What makes you qualified to make laws for an entire nation? And in fact, these idiots, everything they say, even on the issue they were talking about, is based on what they have heard from someone they deem an expert, which is exactly the same thing Matt Walsh is doing. Yet somehow we can't listen to Walsh, but boy, I wear a nice pretty suit and I got a bunch of clicks to get me in this seat, so I'm unbiased and I'm intelligent and I know what I'm doing. Yeah, or give me a break. Who are you to question anybody? The only time they deem someone worthy of listening to is if they have a lab coat and they're bought and paid for. See, they'll trust an so-called expert, a scientist, whatever, so long as they have that little scientist label by them, doctor label, right? Got that little master's and doctorate behind you, okay? They'll follow that, and only if they're bought and paid for. That's the big thing. Do you align with my personal philosophy? Then you're an expert, and we can trust you. You don't align with that? Well, your expertise is in question. Doesn't matter. Here's another thing. Congress is no more serious to me than an OnlyFans girl. That's how serious I take Congress and how much I respect them. Bunch of corrupt, empty suits selling their body and souls for money and political power. And from what I've seen, little to no real intelligence. All they do is play to the camera like a pop star or a rap star. They're all show, yet they ruin the country. And oh yeah, our lives as well. And yet they're going to sit there and go, listen, we're working hard for you. Oh, okay. And second, who is this guy? This congressman I saw, I don't remember his name. That's how much he matters to me. I didn't take the time to learn any of their names because why would I? To ask about, he's asking about the background and expertise of anybody really, but Walsh in particular. I mean, these congressmen who really all of them. I'm not making any exceptions anymore. I don't care about the guy who sounds good on the camera or whatever. They're all eventually going to be no good anyway. But all of them, these congressmen who all of them get down on their knees for anyone who will donate enough or give them influence. They're ready to compromise at the first sign, the slightest hint of just a little bit more influence. They're like a porn star looking to consume the last drop. Ooh, daddy, please give me another one. Yet they're going to sit there, being the OnlyFans whores that they are, and look down on Mr. Walsh, and by extension, all of us, really, and belittle all of us because we have a brain and can critically think, and go, oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't cut the penises off of little boys. Maybe we shouldn't mutilate little girls. What? You don't have a PhD? How can you come to that conclusion? Because I can think. These people have the nerve, by the way, to ask Walsh about, was it clicks? He said, oh, like implying that you're here just to get clicks. You're sensational. But the entire career of these stupid ass congressmen, all of them, their position is 100% dependent upon the clicks of the people. That's called voting. Hell, I have more respect for the OnlyFans girl. At least she's telling you what you're paying for. This is what you're going to get, and you're going to get it when you pay the price. But these two-faced politicians sell one thing, but don't actually put out anything. At least nothing good for the country. Now, I'm sure they happily drop down and put out for their donors and handlers, or Israel, or Ukraine, or whoever's pulling the strings. Whoever can give them a little bit more, right? And these arrogant meatbags whose only real intelligence is in scamming and playing political games are asking this man, Mr. Walsh, about his expertise, and is telling Mr. Walsh basically, who are you to say anything? These idiots who couldn't think themselves out of a paper bag, even if the paper bag was wet, much less any real critical thinking ability. These idiots, these leaders, these people we all gladly vote for and swear that they're going to save the country. America's going to be saved. They have no understanding or education morality, no education philosophy, logic, and so on. Yet they deem themselves worthy and capable leaders. I don't know what's worse, that they deem themselves that, or the we stupid asses actually celebrate them. They have no fear of God, no loyalty beyond their checking account and popularity with the right folk. Gotta make sure you got your shaking hands with the right people. And look, if there are any good ones, even they will, quote, follow the rules of Congress, while the monsters do whatever they choose. Simply put, the good ones are silent and thus allow evil to rule the entirety of the nation. And yet we're going to sit there and go, oh, he's one of the good ones. I don't trust any of them anymore. Good, bad, whatever. When they say, well, no, what was it, Thomas Massey or whatever? He's going to tell everybody everything. He's going to let it out there. I don't trust him either. He got burned. They're kicking him out. And he's like trying to make it look like he's making good on some of his promises. But no, he's not going to let it all out. Why? Because there's rules. Some things are not allowed to be spoken of. Some things are classified, right? And he's going to follow those rules. And they're going to be silent on the important parts, too. They're going to let it keep going because, well, we got to keep the country going. We can't risk the country falling apart, right? That would be horrible. No. So I'll let some of it out so I sound like I'm the good guy, like I'm fighting for you. But in the end, I'm just maintaining the system just like everybody else. So, hell, maybe this Massey guy has good intentions. I don't follow everything he says and does. I just know what people have told me and what I've a little bit of seen of him. Maybe he's good intentions. Meanwhile, the whole country's on fire. Meanwhile, homosexuals are running left and right in the country. Meanwhile, trans everything is going on. Meanwhile, abortions are still going on despite the whole Roe v. Wade overturn. Meanwhile, we're drowning financially. But hey, no, you said a couple of good things about, a couple of things about Epstein that we already knew. Ooh, you're really pushing it out there, right? How much of that is still hidden, still not spoken of? If Mr. Walsh, being not an expert, is a poor person to listen to on this particular topic, right? Then why are there any of these politicians? Why are any of you politicians, you tools in Congress, speaking at all on anything? You're not an expert. I mean, if I wanted to know how to play the stock market, I might turn to one of these guys, right? If I wanted to know how to gather classified information about the markets and play the markets in order to win big, I might go to them. They might be an expert, right? If I want to know how to scam millions of people in order to get votes to get in that position and then keep that position in perpetuity, okay, then I might turn to you, Congressman. If I wanted to know how to, I don't know, sexually abuse people on islands and how to cover up corruption, okay, yeah, then you're the expert. I will look to you. But you're no expert in anything else. How can we turn to godless people? And I'm not talking about just a proclamation of belief in God. I'm talking about people who have no piety, no devotion. We turn to these people and we're surprised when we get a godless nation, when we get stupid ass laws that don't make any sense. We're surprised when we have these meetings. Well, we got to sit there and take this seriously about them questioning the expertise behind transitioning surgery. If I'm having a meeting and I say, what's the topic? And he goes, yeah, we want to discuss whether we should allow transitional surgery for, hold on, wait a minute, what? Yeah, we're going to have some experts come and talk about, no, screw that. They're experts. Put them in jail. They're not experts. They're psychopaths. There's no defense for this. I don't need an expert to explain it to me. I don't need some medical science. That's not my God. Okay? I just need to be a rational thinking human being. Don't put an MD behind your name, a doctrinal degree. If anything, that says, hold on, where did he get his doctorate from? Here? Shut him down. They gave this idiot a doctorate. How the hell that happen? Who taught him? Throw him in jail too. Because these assholes are perpetrating the mutilation of human beings. They're not helping anybody. They're normalizing it. Get rid of them, the school, everyone taught them. Strip him of this degree. It ain't a degree. That's the only thing I need to hear. I don't have to have a meeting about it. I don't have to have Congress come together. Don't need to have 300, 400 people vote on it. That's bullshit. And if you think, oh no, that's a dictatorship. No, that's called rational thinking. And you're so unfamiliar to it that it sounds like a dictatorship. Your brains have been so pried open by relativism, subjectivism, by freedom of religion, freedom of speech, right? That your brain fell out. Chesterton said the whole point of an open mind is the same as an open mouth, to bite down on something solid. And the people of this country, you haven't bit down anything solid. We've got the masses of the stupid voting and outvoting any rational thinking person. I'm done with this American system we have. I'm just so sick of it. It's beyond any recovery in my mind. It needs to be transformed. I'm sick of being played by the right with vote harder and, we'll just save America that way. And I'm sick of the left just running all over us and getting every freaking thing they want. I'm done with the two-party system. That basically is it's the same bird. It maintains the system. It's controlled opposition. And I'm so sick of the, quote, will of the people that created all this crap. The people voted for these beyond corrupt politicians who gladly smile in your face and speak softly while raping children and stealing wealth and influence. This is the will of the people. You voted for them. You got them. And if you believe in voting as much as you say you do, and these are the people in office, you weren't tricked, you knew what they were, you decided not to believe it, you decided to think this guy's the good one, they're in office and they're maintaining the system. The stupid masses are indeed more stupid than the few who ruled in the old monarchies. Because when they were stupid, it was only a few of them. You know who to look to. Now, we have hundreds. Congressmen, Senate, not to mention the dictatorship of the people, the beautiful will of the people. Now, as I'm getting to the end of my little rant here, I do want to meet something here before I'm told that I'm unfair, that I'm actually being uncharitable, right? I'm being very mean and disrespectful. Well, here's the thing. I'm actually being very charitable because thus far, I have assumed that everyone involved are weak-willed or incompetent. I'm assuming a group of stupid people, of stupid men, if you can indeed call them men, guided by peer pressure, right? Peers who pat them on the back and with each childish remark and giving them an unearned self-confidence. I'm assuming they're just merely going with the flow of, gee, I'd like to make some more money today. But the reality is most likely much, much worse. You see, in reality, they probably are intelligent. They probably are not fools. They're probably not incompetent. In reality, they are very much intentional. They are, in a word, evil. The true fools are the people. At least I pray that to be the case for the people. Because if you're a fool, you have some room for mercy. You were tricked, lied to, and you fell for it. The other people that I just described, they're not fooled, competent. No, they know what they're doing. You see, these politicians, they know the trans people are butchering themselves and kids. They know it leads to them killing themselves. They know it destroys societies to support such self-mutilation. They know the science supports Mr. Walsh's claim. They know the truth, the facts, and the consequences. And that's the point. They want it. They love the charade. They need the chaos to thrive. They need the destruction of morals. They need us all thinking we can just vote our way to a better tomorrow, which is impossible so long as we have a society that says kids can be mutilated, or even that adults have the right to consent to, well, anything really. After all, this whole obsession with consent is just another form of the demon this country worships. This false idol we hold up. This god of liberty. False liberty, really. Or perhaps maybe a better word for that would be license. It's a god of license. To do whatever you want, so long as you're just two consenting adults. Bullshit. Now, I've said it before, but the country needs a conversion. Conversion of heart, mind, and soul. You want a solution? You want a way forward? All right. You want it to be just not just be negative, a little positivity? Okay. Create Catholic families, large ones, and outnumber them. Homeschool them so they're not brainwashed by the system. The large families will be like an army that can convert the people, the society. And through that, we will then begin to convert leadership or replace that leadership with true believers. In fact, that's why the left, the Masons, the evil people of this world have created a society that hates families so they can take power. And they have. How many students? I taught all girls at one point. How many of them are horrified at the idea of being a mother? They've outright said they hate kids. They're so annoying. I hate them. I can't stand them. I can't wait to get away from them. I don't want nothing to do with them. Can you imagine the amount of propaganda to get a female to say that? The amount of propaganda required, the amount of brainwashing required to get women to hate one of the core things that makes them a female and then label it feminism. My God. Did you catch that? They took one of the core elements. There's more than one, but one of those core elements defines a woman. Okay? Got them to hate it, reject it, mock it, and labeled it feminism. And these kids and the future generation coming all bought into it. How you like that? And you can't tell them otherwise now. You can't. You try to tell them, they get upset. They get very angry over it. And they spout out all this stuff. These talking points. So long as that's the generations we're allowing to be raised. And by the way, public schooling is the problem. I know so many people out there go, well, I can't help it. I can't afford it. That's by design, sweetheart. This country has designed it so that you cannot afford to educate your own children. Wake up. They've stolen your children, the minds of your very own offspring, if you have any, or you are the product of that stealing. They stole your mind, your ability to think, your ability to be moral. They robbed you of it, confused you. And now here you are hating the very thing that makes you a man or a woman. And now you're confused as to what's going on in the world. Public education is the problem. I've had to have my kids in public education for a couple of years now. Had to. And I hated every minute of it. There might come a time where I'm forced to do it again because I've taken them out so far. I'm homeschooling. I might be forced to put them back in at some point. And that pisses me off. You know why? Because just that, I'm being forced to. How are you being forced in the land of the free? By an economic system that demands both parents be working and still not make enough to so much as educate your own children. Don't tell me I'm in the land of the free. Just because the dictatorship and the chains are more subtle, more hidden. I can say a lot of good things about America, by the way. I'm just not doing it right now. And so I'll leave you with this. What I'm going to try and leave off every little recording I do. And that is, we need a new crusade to make America Catholic. It's the only way forward. I don't care what you say. That's our only option at this point. It's the only way. Return to the Constitution only if that Constitution is made Catholic. Because the Constitution led to where we're at right now with its absolutism of freedom of speech, freedom of religion. No, it's not doing us any good, never did. Someone said free religion has done good because we're allowed to be Catholic. As opposed to what? Yeah, if you're saying that, well, the only other option was to be oppressed, completely oppressed and squashed out, like China. Well, well, then great. Free religion, great thing. In comparison to but that's like saying, well, listen, this light security prison has done a lot of good for me. I mean, hell, I could be in a maximum security prison. Yeah, but you're still in a damn prison. No, what is good is not tolerating Catholicism. That doesn't do us good because that allows immorality and confusion to infiltrate into the church and its teachings, to thus make Catholicism completely a turnoff to anybody. You can't convert souls now. Not really. Not unless they're going to take in their cafeteria Catholicism, right? They're going to take in their watered-down form of it and call themselves Catholic. You see the danger? They all think they're good, devout Catholics, when sometimes they're not. Now, I don't know I'm not speaking about anyone specifically, but that's the problem you're running into. No, we need a Catholic nation. Integralist Catholic nation. Integralism is the way to go. A system of government that has the moral and natural law teachings of the church as its guiding point, its standard for morality, for societal relations, for how the states are run, for what laws are made or not made, right? This doesn't mean everyone's going to be mandated to go to confession and mass. No. Think of it like this. The country would look very much similar to what we have now, except instead of secularism being the defining philosophy of what's permitted and not permitted, natural law would be, right? The moral law, as understood by the Catholic Church, would be, as understood taught by Jesus Christ. That would be our standard. So abortion? No, contradicts the natural law. Transgenderism, homosexuality, divorce, all of it gone. You don't like it? Move. What does Ben Shapiro tell me? Oh, you're struggling to get by? Learn a new skill, move out of town. Go to a new state. Learn some new skills and make money. No, Ben, you get out. If your religious beliefs and philosophy doesn't line up with the Catholic faith, no, you leave, Ben. In fact, you've got your other citizenship. Remember where you're from? Remember where you're from? Remember your homeland that you love so much? Go home. Or stay and learn to be a better person. But pick one, Ben. And Glenn Beck, who wants dual citizenship, right? You can go too, Glenn. I've listened to you for years. I love your storytelling and that kind of thing. But I've lost a lot of respect for you over the years. You can go too. Oh, and what's his name? Sean Hannity? You can go. Leave. We don't need y'all. So I'll leave you with this because I'm starting to get on another rant. We need a new crusade, as I said, to make America Catholic. And it needs to happen soon. But if it doesn't, hey, that's understandable too, because I don't have a whole lot of hope for the country anyway at this point of having such a radical change. Not in my lifetime anyway. Hopefully my kids might hear this one day and go, oh yeah, he was on to something. Let's keep it going. So let's all unite and at least try to make a change. God bless.
Fear not, brother.